Now the main difference that we'll see as we go across to the painting will be that the colors in the painting are a lot darker. Now we are going to work on the finish of the painting, finishing a painting. Now the finish is two things. It means getting towards the end of the procedure of the painting. That's number one. And also there is a high finish and a low finish, a rough finish and a smooth finish. That is all that we're going to be concentrating on now. But I want to explore three concepts. The first one is the concept of palimpsest. Palimpsest, then chiaroscuro, and broken color. Okay, palimpsest is when we can see through one layer of paint, we can see another layer of paint below. The color beginning that we did there is still visible. It's visible through the scumbles that we did like that. The broken color of the scumbles like that there is particularly nice. That is also very nicely scumbled, and the bottom color is breaking through. That is palimpsest. Then after the scumbles come the direct painting. And the direct painting is normally done with thicker paint than the scumbles, or at least more solid paint than the scumbles. That means that the scumbles now show through, and the underneath colors now show through the gaps between the strokes. So we work for gaps, and we work for a lattice work, a kind of a basket weave that's going to make the painting work. That is the direct painting. The palette knife work does the same thing. The palette knife work is applied in such a way that the underneath paint, the direct painting, the single strokes like that, they break through that. So a really nice painting, a really effective painting has these levels. They show through, and it's nice. It's like music, those of the various single instruments. Then there's broken color. Broken color is really what makes it possible to create palimpsest. So broken color is that we do not cover the canvas completely, but we break the color up a little bit. When I say a little bit, I mean we break the color up in such a way as to allow the earlier layers of work to break through. The first thing that I can do is I notice that in the lemon as I have it now, I'll rotate it a little bit like that. As I have the lemon now, the lightest part is around about there, but there's more yellow. So because I've glazed, the glaze does three things. It harmonizes all the color. All the paintings and all the colors in this painting is now much more muted, and they sing together like a single voice, in a single voice. But it also darkens the painting, and it makes the painting more transparent. So we've got the feeling of color showing through this. And for my first stroke, as an experiment, experiments are good, but experiments are also known to fail. I'll put solid, clean yellow there to really make that bright, because yellow mixed with white is not as powerful as yellow is on its own. So that's what I'll start with pure solid yellow like that, and place another stroke which will be here. Now it's quite nice that these two yellow strokes are not as pale as the highlight there which came from the window. Let's see, and I'll apply that one there. 3 strokes. Each one is unique. Each one has its own beauty as a note, as a color note. Another one, similar color there. I'll come slightly over my impasto there. Slightly over. It must be too much. It must be very muted. I can see an orangey glow around about here. There. It's very pale. I think I can have more of my orange in it. A tiny bit of turpentine in it, so make it come off the brush nicely. There, like that. There. That's a proper kind of orange. It's a little bit too strong, that orange. So I'll mix some more yellow into it. And having mixed it in, it's not so much I want to change that, but I want to find another place where I see the same kind of orange and put it down with less of a powerful orange like that. There. It's there, but it's not screaming out like an orange warning anymore. Some more yellow in here. More yellow in there, and drag it into this orange, which is nearly pink at the moment. There. That's a little bit better. Then there's a dark spot there for no real reason, then it just has been left dark by working around it. So that dark spot I'll move away with strong yellow, favorite one, but this big one will do the job. Palette knife and put some strong yellow with a palette knife, put it there, drag it over all of these colors, and that will unify those colors a little bit. There's a strong color here. Make sure that I've got enough on my palette knife to make it powerful, and drag it in this direction. It's still in the orangey range of color. Right, now there's a hard line there, but I prefer to soften. There. Inside, I like the idea of that little dark mark there. I can rather refine that with a tiny brush, like a real brush. And then the tip of the lemon here, I can take it to as a semi-scumble drag colors drag together. A little bit too much of the dragging, so I'm going to use a bit of pure ochre and apply that there to darken this part of that point of the lemon. Too much. Come back to the pale color, drag that into the darker color. It's a bit much, but it's a strong stroke, and the strength of the stroke is quite attractive. So I'm going to put another stroke just there to blend this fresh, powerful stroke into the underneath strokes. Okay, that's coming on nicely. Now it nearly starts to feel like a lemon to me. And then we can go with more of the lemon colors around, like that scar, the scar in the lemon, small touches. Okay. And work in there, a small touch as well. Oopsie, it's very pale. Very, very, very pale. No, it's too pale. And some ochre in it, and some yellow in it. Yellow plus ochre. That one is too pale, so I want to go over it. A little bit darker, that's better. Right, now we're going into this area. There, where the lemon starts to go around, and it's a very, very similar color. We can go up here. Nice. Okay, still feels to me, I'll worry about that later, still feels to me like this whole area is a little bit too flat, so I want to put some dark in there, semi-dark in there. There. So it does tick, 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 goes around a little bit. And there. There. So the lemon's coming together. I'm going to go to my pure yellow and pick up the edge of the scar on that side. Pick it up like that. Like that, so much. Right. And there. Yeah, that makes the scar very, very nice. Now that very strong stroke that I've had there, I'll take it away. gone. In writing, there's a teaching, a lesson that you have to learn. That is, kill your favorites, kill your babies, the bits that you like most. They start to become a liability to you. So this lemon is now nearly done. Certainly the light part of the lemon, which is where we're going to do most of our painting. But then the lemon has another part just there, which is light, pale, and very yellowish. So I've got darkening of orange, I've got the darkening of ochre, and then I can go here with that stroke. It's a bit too light, a bit too pale, so I want to darken that. So I'll use orange plus ochre for that slight darkening of colour there. Now when I change a colour, I don't obliterate the colour. When I change a colour, I change it in tiny little increments, new colours, next to the other colours. That's it. Now for some reason, I chose to do two lemons in this painting. That lemon and this lemon. And at the moment, by luck, the light parts of that lemon fall exactly where the lighter parts of this lemon falls. Okay, a little bit of softening there, and a tiny bit of softening there. Pick up that edge. Work over the edge is good, always, and work over the edge, but here the edge is dark, so this darkish edge, not dark, but it's darker. This darkish edge at the bottom here is mostly green, so I'll use decent green to apply that edge. So far so good. More of this greenish color there, and even here. So slowly the shape of the lemon is developing nicely. A bit of a hard edge there. I'm going to leave that for now, mainly because I quite like it. And then I'll do a little bit of scumbling here. This is in the dark now. I'm moving from the paler colors into the darker colors. Now in the darker colors, it's always advisable to scumble. At the moment it looks like it's too scumbled, in other words too smooth. So go with a dark color there and make a little color note, a strong note. Too strong, another note. There we go. And then scumble. And then again, a stroke which comes out from there and into the paler color here. A little transitional stroke. So what we are working on now are three things: fields, transitions, and edges. The fields is basically this blue color here and the shadow color of the lemon. That's a field of color. It's essentially the same color, same tonality and so on. Transitions are the most wonderful thing. The transition is a transition of one color or one tonality into another color or another tonality. So there. This is a transitional stroke. It takes us from that color to this color. A little bit darker than it needs to be. I'm not worried about it. But I'm going to put another little stroke there. Just to look at the shoulder of the lemon here. It is light there, but I think it's too light. So I'm just going to do a short stroke there, a stubby stroke there, taking it out of the lemon. And I'll do a similar stubby stroke there, taking that into the shadow. Okay, so this lemon now to me is nearly right. But it's not going to work until we have the edge of the lemon. So fields, transitions, and edges. The next thing we have to do is the edges, Now I'm going to go again with a nice palish, reddish yellow, which will go there in the other lemon to give it a bit of energy there as well. Otherwise this lemon might as well not be in the painting, but there it comes. Softly and blurry. It's essentially, I'm repainting this lemon here because it's the same lemon, it's not two different lemons. Same lemon. There, stroke there. And there we go. Now with my two lemons, I can switch to the rigger brush. The rigger brush, finest brush at our disposal. It was made that fine because at one stage people painted sailing ships, and the rigging of the sailing ship is one of the most difficult things to paint, so they invented this little brush called the rigger because it could paint so finely. I'm not sure that I'm fine enough there. I'm going to pick up this line. If you can paint such a way that the brush don't actually touch the canvas, then you might have some luck. Solid blue now. Solid blue now, that one. That's better. Nice. 3 short lines. Lengthen this one a little bit. And that's nearly enough now. Pick up some solid green, deep green, Viridian, and try to paint this line right through that broken color that I've done there. There. Quite like that. It's not as fine as I was hoping. That's better. That's fine. That's a fine line. And the line and the color are not supposed to match exactly. The line gives the melody as a solo instrument. And the color is orchestration. So sometimes our line should go, I'll try and demonstrate it. Sometimes our line should go outside of our contour. And at other times I'm going to use some black. That's a really bad risk to take, but I'll do it. And at other times our line should go inside of our contour. Like that. So there's a little bit of energy. After this line is drawn, or after these lines are drawn, I will have to break them, because there will be a little bit more than what is desirable, but I will break them. There are various ways of breaking them. The best way, I think, stop now, I'm tired. Nice one. The best way of breaking these lines is quite simply with your finger. Sort of like that. Doesn't work, does it? But I think it will work. When the lines are a little bit drier, then I can do a little bit of finger smudging. Or even finger glazing, which is something else. Okay, Now I'm going to use the same rigger brush and soften that a little bit. Soften that a little bit. I'm going to use the back of the brush and do that trick of breaking the lines and softening them like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to need some color on top of that. Yeah, a little bit too solid. I'm going to try and break this nicely now. Come. Not quite. That is now the most disturbing line. Now we'll get back to that. But now, for now, I have to stop. Put some color on this brush. Break it there. Break it there. And break it there. Break it there. That works better. Still, much too much. I'm tempted to say too many lines. Okay. Right, that has to settle down. Okay, I'll leave it for a while. All right there. That is a clumsy signature. But I quite like it. On the one side always, like that. So that if I need to go back to the original color, I can pick from my first mixing. Yeah, that looks good. Now with this color on the brush, I shall make one stroke. The idea of painting, the mission of painting, is not to make one perfect painting. Our mission is to make one perfect brush stroke, and that is what I'm going to try and do. It doesn't mean it's going to work because the color can come out differently as I put it on here, but I'll start it out there and drag it right across the line and into the green like that. That's not mixed enough. I'll take a little bit more green and mix it a little bit more thoroughly. It could also be a bit lighter. Put some turpentine in there to make the paint come off the brush more generously. So it's looking okay, but that dark streak there is horrible. And I'm going to do the same color there, down, drag, stop, and lift. I like that, but I need more yellow here. And with this extra yellow here, I can work on this section here to dissolve all of that into the lemon. That's a bit better. I like that color. I'm going to make it a bit lighter using white and do the same thing here. From outside to inside. Right across, a long stroke. Now see, I just wanted to make one perfect stroke. And I didn't. And I've made a whole plethora of strokes, but I'm still doing what I'm doing. More of the blue, and then I want to try and use my palette knife to make the stroke here, something like that, here from inside there to out there. That's a nice dissolve, that. I shouldn't do it 2 or 3 times, but I need to because the palette knife's not working so well. So that's better for me. That's too much there. And then I can try and scumble that a little bit there. So I can't say that I made one perfect brush stroke. That would be the absolute joy as a painter to do that. A nice strong firm stroke there. 1, 2, and stop and lift. That works okay. Now my second lemon there doesn't look so much like another lemon. It looks more like what I intended it to be. Like a ghost image of the main lemon. More yellow. And drag these together. There. So now I prefer that. I've got my broken color. I do need more blue here. Okay, now if you want to make a really juicy brush stroke, you must make sure that you've got enough paint on your brush. I'll try it with this one. Oh no. The impatient to get lighter and mix and mix and mix and mix and place it. I'm not going to destroy that brush stroke. I'm going to do a fresh one. There. That's what I'm looking for. Tiny bit more blue. And there. Okay, now we have one lemon dissolving into another lemon dissolving into shadow pattern. Happier with this. Paler and break that line as well. Good. So this is where we'll stop. Unfortunately, I would like to make a palette knife stroke there because it's so bold. But I can't get my hand in here nicely. So I'm going to try and do it from the far side. I'll try and walk around and try and put a palette knife stroke there. But first I must make sure that I've got the right color. More green. And down. Stroke. Stop. And lift. Okay. Like that. It's still giving me problems. There. I'm going to mix some beautiful yellowish color, maybe even a full strength yellow, and mix it with my brush like this. There. And I'm mixing it quite dry. I want to add a tiny bit of green to it. I'll say a sap green. Too much. Add some white. Add more yellow. And there is my color that I'm thinking of applying here. What I want to do is to break up this very, very, very prominent line that goes right around the whole thing. So just a little stroke there. That should help. And add some more green. And keep it dry. I want it dry for now. And I'll apply that slightly deeper color just there. Just there, like that, on that line. Yeah. Break that line up a little bit. Not too much. Not too little. Shot. And take my slightly greenish yellow mixture and add a bit of sienna to it. That's it. Now it's deeper and it's warmer. Oh, which means I can apply that color there. Break that line. Break the line. That's all. Break the line. A little bit too dark. Not too dark, it's right where it is, but too dark over here. So paler color there. That's it. And smear it. Now, if I want to blend this brown into the green, I stroke like that. make it happen. It's working. A bit of umber for darkness without losing the greenness. And this one I shall apply here, right in the joint. Double stroke. Yeah. I want more pale for this section. Unfortunately, my hand is casting a shadow just where I'm painting. So, down, stroke, lift. And another one. It's good to do something else. Down, stroke, lift. Okay. That's better. I want to get back to my darker color. There. Break that line properly. Lift away. And a similar color is over here where I want to do a similar thing. Down, stroke, lift. Much better. I need little black spots now, like ants crawling around. They're not bad, but they're certainly not good, because when they spots like ants, they're no longer aligned, so they don't serve the function of melody. There. I like it a lot better. Now there's a funny one there. Again, umber. More umber. Get more depth there, and I'll drag a stroke in this direction. Double stroke to get it to attack. A little bit too dark, so I'll cross it over with a paler stroke. Oop. Now it's coming to life. Funny little mark there, a little bit of dust. Speck of dust. Let's get back to my nice deeper green, which could just fruitfully come into that section there. There. I believe that every stroke should only be applied once, and then you mustn't fiddle with it. You can see a bit of darkness that's crept in there, don't know why. Maybe from the last stroke I made. Okay, but what seems to me to be okay, put some black in here instead of green. What seems okay is to apply one stroke twice, if you understand what I mean. One stroke twice, like that, apply it once. If it's perfect, just leave it alone. If it's imperfect, just leave it alone. That's the best thing you can do. Then take some more black in there. So that one worked the way I believe it should work. You apply it once, and then you leave it alone. Now I'll go with a similar color there, down, stroke, and stop. But I missed the top there, so I'm going to go over the same stroke a second time. Okay. That essentially is still just one stroke. One stroke applied twice. But now I have to go back there because I've just scraped off the little black spot. Exposed the little black spot by scraping. Okay, deepish color. Come over that light bit. There. So most of it is working nicely. There's still a dark spot there. Try and mix the right color for that, and start the stroke on the black line and drag on the black line. Drag. Yeah, that has gone a bit too dark there in the sort of hip of the stroke, so I'll mix a lighter color and apply a slightly paler color there. Need to have more light, more yellow. I can't really remember where it is, but I think it's this one. Apply a fresh color there. Yeah. Good. Now with this fresh color, I can come in there over that one. And possibly a little touch over that where the black mark was. Now this arrangement at the top is beginning to work. On the line, drag. There I might have to paint away a little bit of the green with the blue-grey of the paper behind. So, a good thing to do, one of the benefits of teaching is that you cannot just do what you want to do. You have to do what you believe is the right thing to do. Otherwise, you're not only employing bad technique, but you're also teaching bad technique. So there, mix this color properly. That's the color for there. And I'll drag this across here in a half covering. There. Little bit too dark. Make it lighter. Keep it dry and do a half covering of the last stroke that I did. There. That is now crispy, but maybe too crispy. A little break up there would be nice. Good. That leaves me with this section to do. Oh, and when I started there, I started with my first stroke, leaving a little dark panel there. Now I'm going to try and take that away, but painting in another direction. Nice long stroke. Is the scar on the body of the lemon. That scar is really, 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 really difficult, and I don't think I should try it with this brush. I can, and then I can trim it away afterwards, but somehow I don't think it's a good idea. But I'm going to start off with this big brush, because there's an unwritten rule, or even a written rule from some people. Work with a brush that's too big. There. It works. It's just too dark. Let's do a variation on that color. Yeah. Now I want it even paler and more orangey. And again, in the corner of the brush. There. A little bit more. Yeah. Now, I quite like that with a big brush. Now the thing is, it's a little bit wider than what it should be, but it has the built-in advantage of now, because it's wider than it should be, I have to trim it, and that means I can bring more of the apple color, the lemon color into it. There. Too dark. More yellow. More yellow. Damn. More yellow. And more yellow. There. And more yellow with a tiny touch of medium to make it come off the brush more easily. nice yellow. A little bit of extra medium still on the brush. There. Nice. And more yellow. Medium. This extra yellow has to go there to connect. I still feel that mascara is a little bit dark. What I can do is rub it over it like that, but I'm not going to do it with my finger. It would work, but I think this might work better, and it's better technique. Final touch. A highlight. Still too much. A highlight right, and I think it should be right there, and it should be a short little line. Like that. Too short. Like that. That's a proper highlight, I think. Okay, now, if the camera will permit me, I'm going to do something there, because Anne's not so enamored of those things, so I'm going to try a little line, a little stroke that comes from there out like that, from there out like that, and no, it's too blue, more green, more darkness. Just to, no, for me that doesn't really work. Okay, again.